Now this is exciting. Interesting, it's got a little Brembo on it, but it does have radial caliber without the master cylinder being Brembos. Here's a quick startup of it. God, that dashboard is cool. I don't know how it is on camera, but that is pretty dang easy to see in person. That actually sounds pretty good. It is a parallel twin, however, it is a 270 crank. But I'll go ahead and put that engine spec up there as well. Yeah, this is like a little mini R7. Hell yeah. Those winglets look pretty rad though. I don't know what you guys think of them. I know it's kind of weird on a little 450, but it damn sure makes the front of this thing look cool. In fact, the styling that this thing kind of mirrors, in my opinion, has a lot of Yamaha in it. It has a lot of Ducati in it, which is pretty freaking rad. Mirrors, unbelievably good. We'll see as we get riding. They are pretty long, which means the vibrations are a possibility, especially with the twin, but we'll revisit that when we get on the road. And we are off, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, okay. Rider position. Where are we at on that right now? So technically the tank is quite narrow. The handlebars are definitely upright. This is borderline R3 Ninja 400 for ergos. Oh, she leans over nice. That feels pretty decent. This is, I don't know, man. I don't want to be this early with this motorcycle and say this is an official freaking killer of the Ninja 400. Is that possible? Is that what this is? So we got that little push to pass, or it stays on as a bright. Interesting. My Aprilia does that. I actually don't like that. The rear sets are pretty much right under my ass, so that's fair. Like I said, really kind of a Ninja 400 kind of feel. The clip-ons obviously are not really, I mean, they're below the triple trees like my ZX4RR, but yet they are also risers that are under the triple tree. So really, I'd say the best part about that is the fact that you could easily lower these things. So this would be much easier to put into a race position than a Ninja 400 in my opinion. And that's just simply you have more room down here to go up and down with the clip-ons, which is freaking cool. So there's some ergos. The seat, for inexpensive, smaller, you know, motorcycle, the seat is, it's fine. I would say it is kind of small, and I like the fact that I can push my ass to the little back stump back there, and there's quite a bit of movement forward. So I would say there are positions you can get into in this motorcycle that would help a lot, which is pretty rad. So that kind of wraps up some of the ergos. They're okay, and I think that it would be easy to manipulate these to make them even more comfort, or turn this thing very aggressive. I think would be quite easy. I like the fact that you already got some kind of like frame sliders on it. Very easy to take off. That's pretty cool. Now I don't know about the company and getting parts yet. I think that's something that's still going to be very new for us because of the fact that a lot of these motorcycles are built out of other motorcycle parts. It's obviously very easy to switch this thing from regular shift to GP shift. That's pretty cool. Seat height here, I am 5'10", 32-inch inseam. I am 100% complete flat footing, which is pretty rad. So if you're looking at beginner, that is definitely falling into that category. And the twins with 400 plus cc's, more than enough. Downshifting, blipping it down, not bad. Upshifting, not bad, but at least clutchless anyway. Actually feels pretty good. So that's kind of cool. I like that. So wind protection, I mean, can we duck down on this thing? That visor is, it's so slanted towards you. It's not like it's like pushing any wind over or taking it under and forcing up, because it doesn't look like there's a gap under the screen. I'd say the annoying part would be suspension maybe, but you have to do all the same stuff to a Ninja 400. It's not like it's off the lot ready to go. It needs rear set brackets, in my opinion. It needs to be lowered. You need to fix that seat height, in my opinion. If you want to like really play with the bike. And then of course the suspension's terrible. I mean, it's fun for the price of it, but I would say this is going to fall in that same category. Fun for the price of it. Why even replace the suspension or any of that? You could take this to the track and have a great time and learn on it just like you could with the Ninja 400, but you just have a little bit more cleaner looking amenities, in my opinion. Very stable, easy to hold this thing up. Let's see how about getting this thing in neutral. Oh yeah, oh yeah, there we go. It's not hard to get into neutral, which is cool. There's got to be a slipper clutch on this thing. There's no way this clutch is this light without having some kind of a slipper clutch on it and or assist. It's so loose, I don't like it. You're sitting in traffic with this thing, you could hold this clutch all day long. But definitely for freeway speeds and riding, this thing is pretty nice. This is by no means going to be a slouch on the highway like a 300. I mean, 300s ride the freeway just fine. Ninja 400 really like steps it into acceptable ranges in my opinion. I'm getting more and more used to the gearbox as I ride it. I definitely would say that it is not the greatest gearbox I've ever felt, but as I mess with it more and more, it's feeling better and better. I'd say so far, yes, I would buy this over a Ninja 400. Longevity-wise, is this going to be as good as a Ninja 400? I don't know. I love the build and design of it, obviously. I cannot stress enough how much I love a 270 crank. If you're going to be stuck on a parallel twin, 270 crank is the only way to go, in my opinion. It definitely sounds so much more exhilarating. I can only imagine putting an exhaust on this thing. You know it would sound good because, let's face it, that 270 crank, my R7 sounds freaking fantastic. My Aprilia, even without an exhaust, sounds fantastic. Oh, look at how stable this thing is, though. How easy it is to ride slow. I'd be winning contests all the time with that. I almost won our last cycle gear contest, but I had to go back to back. Oh, that's going to be my complaint, of course. I have to have some kind of reason why I didn't win. Oh, she feels good leaned over. Not too shabby. Oh, there's that intake sound. I lied to you guys. That sounds freaking cool. Jesus, so much traffic. I haven't really actually gotten to enjoy this thing really that much, but man, yes, that sounds freaking rad. That intake sounds cool. The exhaust sounds cool. I almost kind of like it better than the R7, just the way I get intake sound and I get exhaust sound. I'm sure an exhaust pipe would drown out that intake sound, so it's debatable. Pretty freaking cool though. Super lightweight. I'll put up the specs of the weight, the fuel tank. Hopefully there's enough fuel in here. Most always go to around 150 miles. I could see this doing that. It'd be neat if this would go a little bit farther than that, but we do have ABS and I have not triggered it yet. Not that we have rode hard, so I'll check out that rear right now. Oh yeah, actually that rear is quite grabby. But I think what's going to kind of narrow this thing down to an annoyance factor for me is going to be simply getting parts for it. I think it will be difficult to get lots of parts for this motorcycle, meaning like, for example, I really don't like that windscreen. I don't think it does anything for us. I mean, if you were trying to take it to the track, could you even get into a bubble? My big ass couldn't, that's for sure. I would want this a little bit bigger, whether zero gravity or anybody would make some kind of windscreen for this. I don't know yet. It is obviously fairly new, the little 450 SS, and I think it is attacking a empty category in our lineup, which I think is really cool because I love it when manufacturers step out of the commons, right? Like Kawasaki just did with my ZX4 RR. God, that little bike is so cool. Yeah, some people hate it, some people love it, whatever. It's a really rad little motorcycle. It is. I am super happy that they brought inline fours back, and I think this is cool that we have just a little bit higher than a 400, but yet this is still very, very much so a beginner motorcycle. But who is this motorcycle for? Probably one of the best questions. I think that this motorcycle is for people who want to get into motorcycling, want some form of a super sport looking cool bike, and obviously this is a super sport looking cool bike. It's a little bit upright positioned, but that is going to heavily push you towards a comfortable motorcycle. And if you're still kind of, you know, twisted between like comfort over super sport, like you want the super sport motorcycle, yeah, it's cool, yeah, they're not fun to ride for long distances. Like my R7 for a, you know, 35-40 minute freeway ride, I'm just like, get me off of this thing because it's not comfortable. My more upright ZX4 RR, I can ride that thing for my 45-minute ride and I'm still like, I'm cool, I can keep riding. Ergos make a huge difference, even though there is a fairly small amount of changes in motorcycles to make the ergos different. Like this is more of a upright-ish. It's a little more, it's not like a sport naked motorcycle. It's definitely a little bit more lean forward than that, a little more aggressive position than that. But it is, however, a little more of a comfortable bike. So beginner, definitely. Cool looking race style motorcycle. Easy to get your feet on the ground. A good sounding engine that has enough torque, power, and fun for a beginner to like actually kind of, this is probably scary in some instances. I'd say this is, you know, there's going to be more than enough power in this thing for you to go, oh. So I definitely think a beginner can handle this thing and get used to it. I mean, if you're still a little bit more worried about it, that little 300 right there is pretty solid too. So the CFMOTOs, you know, I one of the things I keep thinking every time I look at a CFMOTO motorcycle is Kia. And the reason why I always think Kia is Kias are inexpensive-ish cars. Of course, they're getting more and more expensive, just as CFMOTO will, the more popular they get. But a Kia, when you buy the cheapest Kia, you still get a lot of very cool amenities. You get more than what you would get in another car, because other cars can charge more just simply because of the name. Where I think this being a new motorcycle, trying to give you more amenities than you would get on a normal motorcycle, while still giving you the reliability of other engines and other components off of other bikes, is the way I feel this thing is. Only time will tell whether or not the reliability is there, obviously. I hope you got something out of this review. This is the first time I've gotten to actually see a CFMOTO in person and ride one, and I could not be more pleased that it has that beautiful little 270 crank. God, you guys are gonna love this thing, especially once an exhaust gets on it. So thanks for watching, guys. Here's your beautiful view, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.